Hey guys, what's up? PipSnipers here, back for another update. This is going to be another daily update on XRP. Today is Sunday, May 4th, 9:06 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you guys haven't seen my Bitcoin update, please go ahead and take a look at that. Because when we take a look at Bitcoin over here, we have run into some resistance. Taking a fib right from the high there in January down to the low in April, we do see that we hit the 702, and 2 days ago we formed a bearish shooting star right off of it. So if Bitcoin can get a push back above the 702 at 97,343, then we can invalidate the scenario in which this is a B wave, and then we come down for a C wave to backtest the 200-day moving average, or just the lower retracements right over here. Okay, so it would just come down to these lower retracements and maybe even wick into this structural support that we see right over here. Okay, so it just may wick into this structural support before continuing on its trend to the upside. Now, how does this relate to XRP? Well, in my previous videos, I did say that as long as XRP remains under $2.32, which is the 138.2% extension, there is a possibility that we come down for a C wave to backtest the 200-day moving average, sitting at around $2.04, $2.05, with the possibility of wicking down to the lower bounds of this reaccumulation range to solidify it as support before we can continue on with the trend. Now, how did I place this 138? How did I place this fib right here? How did I find it? All I did was I took a fib from the April 12th high down to these lows here. And as you guys can see, we weren't able to get above that 1.382. So if Bitcoin can get back above the 702, and if XRP can get back above $2.32 on the 4-hour time frame, then it's very likely we would be heading towards our next major point of interest, which would be 271 to 288. And that's simply because that's the 70.2 to 78.6% fib measured from the highs here in January down to the lows here in April. So right over here would be the next point of interest. Even coming back to this level, I would consider that sufficient enough to classify this move over here as the bottom. But when you get above the 702 and the 786, then we can really confirm that, yeah, this for sure was the bottom, right? So there's two trajectories here on XRP. Either we come down to these fibs, solidify the lower bounds of this range as support, and then continue up from there, or we get back above $2.32, $2.33 on the 4-hour, right? We do see that we were channeling up here a little bit in a corrective formation. And then if we take a look at let's see if we're below the momentum indicator. And yeah, we are below the momentum indicator on the 4-hour. You see how the price is just continuously rejecting off of it. So if we can get back above this momentum indicator and then get back above $2.32, $2.33, then we can deny the possibility that we're going to come down for a C wave here. Now, if we come down, I would recommend, or I would say, don't panic, because we still need to form a base before the crypto market can really take off rapidly to the upside. Now, this is Wyckoff reaccumulation on XRP. As you guys can see here, that this was just a wave 4, right? This was just a wave 4 WXY correction. And yeah, I mean, this is the full chart on XRP. If we go on the daily time frame, you guys can see that we were ranging within a pennant for over 2,300 days. And now we started our 5-wave move to the upside in July of 2024. And it's been almost a year. And we've been consolidating sideways for 147 days. From peak to trough, we've gone down about 51, 52%. So I would say that we have price and time-based capitulation. Now the only thing we would need to look for going forward is for XRP to, number one, stay above these range lows, so at $1.91 to $2.05, and for us to get back above $2.32. So yeah, XRP does look good. And something I also wanted to point out is that it's not only XRP that's doing a reaccumulation structure. Like, we can even take a look at HBAR, for example, or any of the ISO coins that have front run the market. Let's take a look at this on the black chart right here. This is HBAR. So you can see that this is another reaccumulation schematic where we're creaking down, and you have this falling wedge-like structure. You break down from the falling wedge, and then you have a V-shaped recovery back into the range. And these are all of the retracements here. So don't be surprised if we see a little bit of a retrace across the altcoin market, and then we continue up from there, right? So it's not only XRP that's doing this reaccumulation schematic. It's many coins, many of the ISO coins that are doing it, while the ERC20 tokens are doing Wyckoff accumulation, right? ISO coins are doing reaccumulation, ERC20 tokens and all the other tokens are doing accumulation because they're still at the lows. Matic is another good example. We can take a look at Matic. You guys can see here that this is just pure Wyckoff reaccumulation within a huge wave 4. The only way, in order to validate our bullish bias on Matic, I would just want to see a rally back towards this yellow box here at 31 to 32 cent and 40 cent. As soon as you rally back to this yellow box, then we can say, oh, okay, this was your manipulation or your spring before we have what's called a jump across the creek, or distribution, or final phase of distribution to the upside. Okay, so nothing to worry about in the altcoin space. If we do dip a little, just know that we're just grinding out a base before we eventually move on higher. I hope you guys enjoyed the XRP video today. If you guys want to connect with me one-on-one, then click the link in the description below to join the Discord. You guys can ask me any question you want. You get access to over 350 coins. Please like, share, subscribe. Peace out and take it easy. I'll see you guys in the next one.